Thanks for clicking on this video. If you want more content just like this, head over to redmenplus.com and sign up as a club legend or a club captain. You'll get perks such as 20% off all our merch, 2 free pieces of merch every single year, and you'll also be in our Discord and Facebook group so you can talk to other Reds. What more could you really ask for? See you there.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've stuck around and you're still watching these shows live with me right now, thank you very much, because what Liverpool have just put us through is nothing short of embarrassing. That was a shit show in the end, and I am sorry to bring you this news if you didn't watch it live, but Liverpool lost tonight against Leeds 2-1 at home again at Anfield. Virgil van Dijk's home record of never losing a game has finally come to an end. And if I'm being honest, we deserved it. We are failing themselves as professional footballers at the moment. They're not playing to the standards that they've set themselves in previous seasons, and they're failing us as fans. There were people there at Anfield after the Leeds scored that goal that were just leaving, depleted. They did not believe that there was anything worth sticking around for. They didn't think Liverpool were capable of getting anything and salvaging a point. And that is so disheartening to see for a group of players that we know have given blood, sweat and tears over the last 3-4 years consistently, to have fell in the way that they have now. And we've all just come crashing back down to earth as Liverpool fans, and it is truly gutting. But I am here to read out your thoughts and your feelings. They're just some of my initial thoughts. I am downbeat. I am dejected. I am going to keep it 100 with you. I am pissed off. I'll try and be professional. I'll try and get through all of your comments, and I'll try and sift out some of the best ones. Thank you for getting involved in the show. Let's jump straight into it. Silver Bullet there just says, shake my damn head. Yeah, there's not much else you can say. Brian Glow says, I'm tired, Errol. More than enough quality on paper to win, but unfortunately, the game isn't played on paper. Need to stop gifting teams goals in the first 5 minutes and then giving them a big confidence boost. Andy App says, what is there to say that hasn't already been said? We can no longer blame injuries. These lads are not performing as they should. They're not clinical enough and they're not composed enough at the back. We got punished as we should tonight. And yeah, I agree with both of those comments, Brian and Andy. I think on paper, yeah, you'd look at that team and say Jurgen's put out the strongest squad that he's got at his disposal at the moment, and we gifted them a goal again. You know, from a defensive standpoint, it was shambolic all over the place. Brian says, we have to wonder how much their constant changing of the formation has affected us as well. Yeah, I've never, you know, it's only 2 times I've seen it, this diamond iteration of, you know, the system. I don't like it. I didn't think it suited us on Wednesday, and I said to anyone I've spoken to since Wednesday, the scoreline flattered us. But it could have easily been 2-0 the other way, or it was 3-0 for us on the night. And tonight just goes to show similar performance levels, and the result goes the other way because you're never really in control of the game. Yeah, Liverpool were clinical on Wednesday, but tonight we just wasn't clinical enough. Shane O'Kelly says, I never thought that I would be saying this, but God, I can't wait for 6 weeks break of Liverpool ruining my weekends, week in, week out. Yeah, absolutely, mate. We'll come back to the YouTube comments in a moment, but let's jump over to some of the guys in Discord, because Discord has been popping off since that result. Jurgen's Tricky Red says, Steve, where do you think we go from here now that we are 8 points off the top 4? 5 points off relegation, you know, but 8 points off the top 4 in the back end of October, creeping into November. It's peak. It is, you know, it's Halloween weekend, and it is a scary setting up in Liverpool right now, because I don't think anybody was expecting this. Not at the start of the season, not after the start we had before. Yeah, this is just a little hangover, you know, we'll come good. And there's been so many false dawns where we've expected us to turn a corner and we're going to pick up the form. And every time you think you're just going to get back to winning ways, we get knocked back down to reality. And it's like, nah, actually, hold that. And we're having to hold way too many L's right now. Dad says, every side we now play, we will look at these last 2 league games and believe they can get, 100%. Every side that we play now, they'll look at the last 2 league games and they believe they'll get points off us. Klopp needs to drop players. No one can tell me that Bajcetic wouldn't be better than Fab right now. Son of Barn says, paying the price for the congested pre-season and faith in players who are injury prone or inexperienced. Hopefully we can get to Jan still within touching distance of top 4. And that comes back and says, if the players don't react soon, if I was Klopp, I would walk. Oh, mate, let's not. I don't even want to entertain that thought process right now. Ooh. Right, let's see what some of these likes are saying over on Twitter. Copite Sean says, when's the World Cup then? Yeah, I think every Liverpool fan is just desperate. Yeah, the Liverpool Red replies, not soon enough. We're all just desperate for the World Cup to start. We need that break sooner rather than later. 2 more Prem games before we ultimately depart for the World Cup. But yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to sign off right now. 4 points, 2 points, no points. I want 6 points, so we need the 6 points, but we're asking a lot and you just can't guarantee which Liverpool team are going to turn up. Liam says, not even disappointed, just absolutely fucking disgusted. Mate, I'm gutted for you. You know, there's a comment in a minute that proper cuts me deep. But I'm gutted as well, lad. Like, I'm not used to having to have these conversations one-to-one with you guys and the chat and seeing it this bad. This is probably the worst it's been since I've been doing the watch-alongs and the shows, and it's shit. I'm not even gonna lie. Liverpool is shit. It makes me feel like shit, and it's just ruining weekends all round the gaff. Liam Stone says Klopp season 7 syndrome is a thing, and it looks like, yeah, the evidence is there to suggest that you're probably spot on there. At the minute, he hasn't seemed to find the answer. The only thing is, the last 2 times he's walked away because it's become untenable. I hope that this is one of those cases where he's able to show a little bit of resilience. This is where Klopp needs to dig deep now, and I think him and his staff need to really work hard to salvage the season in the best way possible. We can accept we're not where we want to be. We've not hit the heights that we've needed to, and for that reason, our objectives of winning and pushing for the title are well and truly been over and they're done. But top 4 is there for a team that can go and push and get 10 to 12 games wins on the bounce. If Liverpool still manage to do that, we will massively improve our chances of securing a top 4 finish. But we need to get the formula, we need to get the system, we need to get the formation and the players all playing on song. And at the moment, we are just so many levels. I said to you before in the watch along, we're stuck in gear, second gear, but we need to start being able to win games in second gear. We can't do that right now. KXXXY says, I feel sick. Bro, preach. Jake Wolf says, subs were atrocious. We gave away possession so many times and I'm not sure where we go from here. And I think that's it. Like, I wanted to have some real constructive conversation within this, because I know that this is about your raw feelings and I know it's about how we feel instantly after the match, and everybody is in the same sort of mindset right now. We feel like shit. We've just watched us perform like shit. We got what we deserved and we got beat by a team that really just sucker punched us, and we gifted them the first goal. But where do we go from here? How do Liverpool get back to winning games of footy? Because the Champions League, it almost seems like there's a switch that they can flick, and all of a sudden they're in a different mindset. And I appreciate that, because it's kind of given us a little bit of a distraction from our league form. I'm fine with it. We're through to the next round. We've got a break from that now. But we're going to have to go back to our bread and butter. And if we're not able to pick up form with our bread and butter within the league, then we hamper our prospects of getting into the Champions League next season. And there are better teams, again, and a better team than Leeds today in the Champions League. Your Napolis, your Bayerns, your PSGs, Real Madrid, they would put 4, 5, 6 past us on a day like today if we perform the way we did today in the Champions League. So there's no guarantee that we're going to go deep into the Champions League either. So I don't want to build up all my hopes in this Champions League basket only to let myself down come March because we get knocked out in a quarter-final or we get done over in the semis. We need to start finding form, because I think form domestically can translate into the Champions League, but I also think poor form at some point will translate into the Champions League as well, and we might just go one step too far. Eve Ratius being didn't do enough, didn't want it enough. The cracks are being exposed. What now? We can't be challenging for titles, for top four with efforts like that. Can't lose back-to-back games against teams in a relegation zone and expect to get something out of the season. Absolutely. Facts. Like, you can't. It's not good enough. But we've known as fans, and I'm pretty sure those players will have known for weeks that they've not been performing good enough. So why aren't they able to address that and bring extra levels of whether that's professionalism, whether that's desire, whether that's just being switched on at all times? Don't go away and play in the land of the fairies for fucking the first 20 minutes of a footy game. But they can't seem to do it, and that's probably one of the most frustrating things, because we are building a rod for our own backs. We are shooting ourselves in the foot game in, game out, and we are making it more increasingly difficult to get results because we lack control of the game, we're not being clinical enough, and we are gifting teams golden opportunities to score past us. Raf, oh well, it was great while it lasted. We had a good time a couple of years ago, and we'll be back, but it will not be this season. And that's it. I was going to start the show by just looking into the distance and be like reminiscing on last season, where we was fighting for everything, going down to the wire, and wanted it more than 99.9% of teams that we came up against. And I think if we knew, and this is the truth, I believe this is 100 as well, if we knew what we know now, sitting here today, the 29th of October, that we was going to have a poor start of this season, I think us as Liverpool fans would have basked in last season a whole lot more. We'd have fucking enjoyed it more, we'd have soaked it in more, and we'd have been more appreciative of the football we were seeing 6 to 8 to 12 months ago. But hindsight's 2020, innit? Hindsight is 2020. Escalade says, this is the one that cut me deep. I am sorry, bro. Yeah? Woeful and absolutely useless. I'm struggling to recognise this collection of people as a football team, let alone the club I've supported for 35 plus years. How bad that sounds. I'm going to read that again, Woeful, absolutely useless. I'm struggling to recognise this collection of people as a football team, let alone the club I have supported for 35 plus years. That's from the top to the bottom. That's the manager. He doesn't look like himself at the minute. His body language doesn't look like what we're used to him seeing. The players, they don't look like themselves. They're not playing up to this standard. Even our best performing players this season are making individual mistakes. Harvey Elliott drops a stinker. Firmino played one forward pass apparently in the whole second half. You've got Ali making mistakes. I know it's a slip, but it's still a mistake. If even our best performing players are playing under par, what hope have we got for the players that have been playing shit all season? Bro. Whew. And then Dan just keeps it real with we are the team that everybody wants to play now. And I think that's 100% true. Let's just jump straight back into YouTube. I'm just going to reel these off real quick, guys, because I know in a couple of moments, Steve's going to come back into the studio. He's going to head over to the board. He's going to give you the player ratings. Please be kind. Send some positivity to one of us in the chat. I've had to deal with the thoughts and feelings. We'll deal with the therapy and the instant match reaction. But go and give some... I can hear Tom laughing in the back because he knows there's no good. You can't polish a turd, so the scores are going to be shit. Yeah, we'll find a nice way to give shit scores, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, right. So we've got James Lim that says it's the players' fault, no one else's. He says the players are letting the club, the manager down. They are so inconsistent. Silver Bullet says, here. Yes, I'm here for that. Jolia Family says, before every game this season, we've said, this is the day we restart our title challenge. We keep doing the maths. The hopes in our heart is running low just now. You never walk alone. Yeah, sad. It is. It's sad times right now. Rab Adam says, this ain't changing without changing about half the team. I hope it's not that drastic, bro. I really hope it's not that drastic. I think these players, with a little bit of time away from Liverpool and having to play domestically, and an injection of a couple of other players in January potentially, may become refreshed and find another gear, and that's the hope. But again, and I said it before on the final whistle, I don't really like giving blind hope to this Liverpool team right now. They haven't earned it. Where was we up to? Shane O'Kelly says, was going to stay up and watch the boxing, but I can't be arsed having shit on my mind. I'm off to bed after watching this content, of course. Well, I appreciate that, mate. It means a lot that you're sticking around, because we're all in it together at the end of the day. I'm posted out here on YouTube looking like a tit, thinking shit's going to go well when it doesn't, and you guys are right with me, riding with me in the comments, showing a little bit of love and appreciation, so thank you very much. Neil G, I've tried to stay positive, hoping things would change, certainly not looking good and destroying, and it's been soul destroying. Mark Clark says, too many players are out of form and are not giving 100%. Yes, we have injuries, but still we have players to beat Forest and Leeds. Facts. Where is the heart and the desires of these players gone? Fucking couldn't agree more, mate. Rachel Todd said, would Jurgen walk away? Let me know in the comments. If you're watching this after the fact, let me know in the comments. Would Jurgen walk away from this situation? Do you think he's got it in him to just walk away? Or do you think he doubles down, gets the gloves on and say, right, we're going to fight this one out, and it's going to be a tough one, we're going to slog it, but we're going to fight it out? I hope it's the latter, and I hope he does choose to stay. You know, he's made the commitment to us last season when things were good. You can't commit because things are good. You've got to be realistic and understand that things aren't always going to go your way as well. That's life, that's football. Silver Bullet says, Jurgen is too calm. Dare I say, is the eccentric doctor close to the chop? No. James Lim says, I just hope that Jurgen doesn't give up. He's got the players to get through this, but whether they want to. Silver Bullet, he come back and says, I think we're convinced we were walking into the season with Bellingham and we've just flopped abysmally. Yeah. Rachel Todd says, oh, I think he will walk, and I am sorry to say it. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to love yous and leave yous. Thank you very much for sticking around. I've been your host, Errol Smith. Underneath there, Tom has probably put up an ad there for my social to go follow on Twitter, hopefully. And Steve will be over on the board in a couple of moments to go through his player ratings. Like I said, can't polish a turd, but tell us that we were shit in a very nice way. Good night. God bless.
Get closer to Liverpool Football Club and the magnificent city of Liverpool over on Redmen Plus, our Liverpool streaming service. Documentaries, features, more content from the Redmen studio, and you can learn deep and in-depth knowledge from experts, journalists, and cultural features going to get you close to the football club that we all love. Head to redmenplus.com.